The economy is my #1 concern.
Safety is my #1 concern.
That economic growth is our #1 goal.
Safety is a #1 concern.
So when you're prioritizing things in your life, Faith, how many #1 priorities do you have?
Generally just one.
Okay.
But I'm not the Premier of Ontario by majority.
You're
You
not.
know?
No, your life's not as complicated. And when she talks about safety, what she has almost snuck in, hopefully under the radar there, is that she would like to ban handguns. Can a Premier do that?
Well, last time I checked, firearms are actually a federal jurisdiction, Jerry.
Okay.
So technically, no, but that won't really stop her from, pandering to, I don't know what sort of votes. She's already got the majority, but at least some sort of media attention.
She doesn't have the majority of the vote. She has a majority government. That's not the same thing.
Welcome to First Past the Post, folks.
Yeah. Yes.
So Kathleen Wynne gave marching orders to many of her cabinet ministers, among them the Minister of Community Safety. And what she enumerates are her various goals for that ministry, and within them, she'd like to, quote, develop measures to keep guns out of Ontario and handguns off of our street. Jerry, you know what's missing from that sentence? Illegal. It's kind of an important word the way I see it, because the illegal guns are the problem. The legal guns, I mean, ask me, someone who does legally own guns, I spent a lot of money not only to acquire them, but to acquire the certification to own them, to actually go through the rigorous training and certification process
and to store them safely.
And I got to do it all very properly, because, you miss dotting one I or crossing one T, you're in prison for 3 years.
All right, now I'm assuming that Kathleen Wynne would prefer a different outcome to this story. This is from Oklahoma City. Just found this story today. An 11-year-old girl is in her home. It's a mobile home. The former boyfriend of her mother kicks open the door. He'd been coming around banging on the things, very angry. They had a restraining order against him. You know how well those work so many times.
Pieces of papers do save people, right?
Yep, they do. And the guy broke in and began stabbing the 11-year-old daughter's mother. The 11-year-old daughter pulled out a gun and shot the guy.
Not a girl.
Didn't kill him.
Yeah.
Stopped the stabbing.
Wow.
Mom's going to live. Did we want this to turn out differently?
Well, I'll tell you right now. First of all, God bless that girl for having the firearms wherewithal and know-how to use the thing, let alone to fire a non-lethal shot. I mean, someone get her to train our police force here in Toronto, for goodness sakes. Look, I don't want to use a cliche of, guns save lives, and the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. But, time and time again, from church halls to military bases, do we see that, proof in the pudding? Look. You look at Chicago, that handgun ban experiment, when the numbers actually started to reverse in the favor of, people living longer, was actually when they lifted the ban. And when it comes to Kathleen Wynne, let's be very clear. This is not an improperly worded oopsie-daisies. She revealed her anti-gun agenda from before the time that she was properly elected. Back in June, in this grab bag electoral process, she said that she would appeal to the federal government for a federal handgun ban. Jerry, within our province alone, 1 in 25 people have firearms, a good portion of them handguns. This is not some small fringe group that is going to say, okay, go ahead, take my guns. This is a huge voting bloc within this province, which, by the way, when you look at all of Canada and all of our violent crimes, those that actually sustained injuries, only less than 1% of them were firearms.
Well, it just seems to me that there are two groups of people who want to ban guns. One is a group of people, and I suspect this is Kathleen Wynne, who are just pandering because they know that, in fact, it won't make everybody safer. And the other, a group of people who just think that you can somehow sprinkle pixie dust across the province and uninvent the gun. But you can't do that.
No, you can't. And again, not to borrow a cliche, guns don't kill people. I mean, a gun sitting in a cabinet is not going to kill someone just because it exists. But you see this time and time again with the left, be it in this province, once great province, in this country, and also south of the border. Look no further than Olivia Chow, mayoral hopeful of this city, who wants to also institute a handgun ban. Again, she's not exactly federal jurisdiction, at least not anymore.
Not anymore, she quit that job.
Yeah, right, to somehow become a control freak legislator over here. Again, a hopeful. I hope not.
It's getting to be more doubtful, so don't worry.
That's the good news, and more irrelevant with every passing day. I asked her, I said, are you afraid of me? One press conference, she said, excuse me. I said, I am a legal, law-abiding handgun owner. Are you afraid of me? And she, well, no. Then I don't get it. Give me the science.
No, you know what I hear all the time, Faith? You just don't need to own a gun. You don't need one.
Rosa Parks didn't need to sit in the front of the bus, did she?
No, she didn't.
There's no requisite to prove necessity in order to exercise a right. That's not how our world works.
Good answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.